Hello, welcome back everyone to my channel. This is Mocklin here again, your favorite newbie artist, producer, songwriter, whatever. Okay, anyways, today's video is going to be kind of a tour of all the setups that I've gone through in my music career, I guess you can say so far. And it's going to probably also hopefully give you some interesting insight into the struggles that I've gone through so far. So let's get to it. All right, so we're actually here with the first setup. Oh wait, I should take off my glasses. All right. Okay, it's like maybe a little bit good. It's still pretty bad, you know. All right, so here we are with the first setup, and I'm in the living room, and this is how I was singing in the first place. I had zero idea of how to record vocals whatsoever or how to sing. So here I am, yeah, just standing in the living room where there's max reverb, no joke, with a USB mic. This exact mic, to be fair. And yeah, and you can also see my MIDI controller right over here. Don't worry, it wasn't actually set up like this. What I would do is I would sit down on the living room table, and then I would jam out, create all the instrumental tracks for my songs. And once I wrote down all of the lyrics and such, and I would go and stand here and sing into the mic in order to record the vocal tracks. And the main issue is that like back then, the reason why I thought this was a good idea was there was no other really good place for me to record vocals. And of course, when I was like testing out this microphone, just talking into it, it sounded perfectly fine. And so I believe that, oh, that means my vocals will be picked up perfectly fine without any regard to like treating the room and whatnot. So I'll have all the lyrics, and then I sang the first song. Okay, listened to it back. Okay, it didn't sound really good. Did a few more takes. And then I listened to them all back, and they all consistently sounded pretty bad. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just because the song doesn't really fit my vocals or something. And I tried out the second song. Okay, it sounded a little bit better, but the vocals are still pretty garbage. Not to sugarcoat it or anything. And then tried out a third one, and by then I knew that it's like, okay, it's like consistently bad. And even when I showed my friend the first time around, he was like, yes, this does not sound like you singing. So that's when I realized I need to actually look into how to record vocals, surprise, surprise. And decided to actually invest in a proper vocal microphone. I was like looking up on Google, like, will USB mic work? And it's like, no. So yeah. And with this pretty jank setup, like actually having all these books like this, seeing like this, I recorded 10 of my song instrumentals before I actually began singing. So it's like I spent quite a bit of time just working in the living room. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the first setup. Let's move on to next. Oh wait, let me redo that again. Actually, let's redo that. All right, so here we are in the room. Now, what you see right here is my current setup. This over here, ignore it. It wasn't there always. It's a new computer. What I was working with in the transition period when I had my new microphone, as you can see here, the Rode NT1A, and my new audio interface, the Scarlett Solo. I was still pretty much working with Ableton Lite in my laptop. So during this time, I was still like trying to learn how to record vocals. Thing was, I thought, okay, I read the reviews, the microphone's gonna sound good. At like the very first thing I want to do is to hear how much better it would sound. And so I'm like singing into the microphone. After I set it up, it looked pretty straightforward to me. Like, spoilers, I thought all microphones were pretty much omnidirectional, because like when you see people singing in public, they're holding the microphone and just like singing all over the place like that. And I thought it would be the same for this. And so I set it up, microphone like this. It wasn't facing this way, it was actually facing against this wall right over here. So imagine this just like turned around and I was like singing into the wall, right? So I hear it back, and the vocals, they do sound quite a bit better. Like you can actually hear that sing, right? But after working around with a bit, like I still thought, okay, maybe it's like kind of missing something, but because it already sounds like that, it's like sing, right? It would be good enough. And I just uploaded it and sent it off online for some random people on Reddit and Discords to give me some feedback. And the consistent feedback was, oh, it sounds like you're singing in the shower or bathroom or something. I'm like, what? I mean, this mic can't be like that bad. Or is it just because I didn't actually look up how to record vocals or something like that? And turns out it was the issue with the ladder. I don't know why. I think I was just kind of lazy in terms of just looking that up. And so I looked up my microphone, and turns out it does have a front and a back. And I was shocked. I didn't know. If you actually look at the Rode NT1A, the Rode logo is a yellow circle, and I thought that was just like a decoration or something. I thought it would be on both sides, you know? And I didn't notice until I saw a video on it from the Rode company where they were talking about the microphone that, oh, it's only on one side, and that denotes the front. I looked at my microphone, and of course, with my luck, 50-50, I end up singing towards the back of the microphone the whole time. And furthermore, I looked up how to record vocals, and one of the biggest things is to just stay away from bare walls. And guess what? The whole time, the front was facing a bare wall. Okay, well then. So throughout this entire time, I was also just like looking up some more information on Ableton and everything, and on their website. That's when I found out that they had like a free 90-day trial for the full version. And I was also, throughout this entire time, what also worked out was when I was working on my laptop, I could notice that there were some issues processing and running, like the general speed that my software was running at. So like, this is a few-year-old laptop, and so I decided, okay, I need to invest in a better computer. And once I do so, I'll try out the trial for Ableton and get this all squared away so I can actually record proper vocals. All right, so I'm going to give you like a quick tour around the room actually before I go on to the next point. So you can see over here that I hung up some clothes along the windows. So what I was looking up online was, oh, you need to treat your room. You gotta use be in a bedroom. That's why I moved in here, and also use clothes to basically absorb like the sound waves and stuff, so they don't bounce off the walls as often. And you can also even see here on the back here, since I had some space, I just flung a bat towel over it. It's the best I could do. And like over here in the back, one of the other big tips that I saw online was to record a vocal booth inside the closet and stuff it full of clothes. I did try that, but you can see from my setup, it's kind of, it wouldn't work out because it's too far away, number one, and number two, the closet is straight up just too small. I tried it. I went inside, I stood there with my microphone over here, and we couldn't fit in there. So the next best thing was to set up my microphone like around this region of the room. So then the back, where you don't want sound coming in, which is the windows, to come in. And also you don't want to be in the exact center of the room because that maximizes the sound waves bouncing around the room. And so what you have to do is set it up in like a small corner gradient, not too close to the walls, not too close to the center. So right here you can see this is how I began singing, and I've been doing this setup ever since then for record my vocals. All right, so now you can see this is my current setup where I got the new computer and all that stuff set up. And if you remember, I just mentioned that I was singing into the back of the mic. Now that was not a trivial matter. I was actually singing into the back of the mic for about like 10 songs before I looked it up. So it took me an extra like month or so to sing with the proper setup with proper drive vocals and going through all that vocal processing in order to make everything sound to a more acceptable level, right? And yeah, so we can see over here have Ableton set up. As of this recording, I'm still using the trial version that I mentioned earlier, where it's basically they let you experiment with the full version. I do intend to move on to the full version once it expires, which, by the way, if you are someone who's interested in producing as well, I highly recommend Ableton. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You can try several different ones. The ones that you're most comfortable with working most efficiently is going to be the correct one to go with. And yeah, like throughout all these months just working with Ableton, it's basically become my digital audio workstation of choice. So that pretty much wraps up what I have for my setup right now, and I'm sure that's going to evolve some more. Oh, before I forget, I also have like a little speaker over here. Now it's not the worst speaker by any means, but it's also not the greatest. It has it's like really bass heavy and stuff. I believe it's a Bose speaker, or is it NB, something like that. But when I use it to mix as well, because it's not going to sound the same as through a studio headphones. When you're recording and listening back through headphones, it's going to sound stereo and excellent. What you want to listen through is what most people are going to be listening through is like a speaker, right? Or you can also listen through laptop. That's why I still have my laptop, you know? And yeah, and before I leave you guys, what's that cool sound in the background? Well, it's my new song that's going to be out, and I would highly appreciate it if you guys go check it out. And yeah, it's pretty much, it was still early on in my singing when I recorded these songs, so they're not going to have like top-notch singing or anything, but trust me, when I released these songs, the vocal quality initially was a lot worse than what you're going to be hearing now. So yeah. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and keep joining me on this journey. Catch you guys later.